Hi everyone, I'm Ken from Crypto Trading KS. If you're new, welcome. And welcome back to our regular community. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin is currently trading at 33,833, up 4.56%. Ethereum currently trading at 2144, up 4.18%. If you're new to the channel, I'd just like to let you know that everything I do for you is free. Twice a day, 7 days a week, I share my experience as a full-time crypto trader. Let's have a look at the Ethereum tokens. They're always fun. I've hidden crypto gems throughout this video. Unless you watch to the end, you'll miss them. See how many you can find. My goal is to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love. I'd also like to let you know that we have 100% free groups on Facebook, Discord, and Twitter, and you can always direct message me anytime on those platforms. We don't have any WhatsApp, Telegram, and we never give out phone numbers. In episode 144, I introduced Rule 709, Integrity First. A few community members reached out to me and asked me if I could explain further. I'm really happy to. Integrity, another word for integrity, is honor. I'd like to say that happiness is on the other side of integrity. No famous person said this, it's just my quote. Now, what's integrity? It's all about being truthful and sincere and free of deceit. That just means genuine. And what does moral mean? It just means that you know the difference between right and wrong behavior and you choose the right behavior because it's better long term for that. Honor is a beautiful thing. You just think about it this way. It might help if you had all the money in the world and you have honor. You will have a beautiful and happy life. You'll be a blessing to yourself and those around you. And that's really what this whole community is about. Let's have a look at Rule 174, T cubed, trend, timing, and trigger. We did the trend episode in the last video. In this video, we use Rule 1122, the KS method for timing. We always start off with an analysis of the news from a perspective that we don't know anything about crypto whatsoever. So what's happening in the world today? Malaysian police crushes Singapore $1.7 million worth of Bitcoin mining equipment. Wow, Malaysian people really don't like Bitcoin mining. Should you own Bitcoin? Jack says, of course it's Jack, he says, yeah, maybe just a bit. All right, what is this? Bitcoin exchange supply hits 18-month low. Oh no, oh, it decreases sell something. Okay, well that's probably good then. I didn't know, maybe it is. Bitcoin surges. Ooh, surges is good. Adding as well. Oh, that's very nice. Investing in Bitcoin mining businesses is a sign of something. I don't know what that is. New Jersey pension fund invested heavily in 2 Bitcoin mining giants. Wow, they must be big, these giants. Let's have a look at that later. Did El Salvador just represent Bitcoin at Tokyo ... Well, whatever that is, it looks good. Bitcoin outlook, bullish scenario may play out. Hang on a second. I thought about 4 days ago it was going to $10,000. What's going on here? Anyway, that seems good. Let's just pretend we're Dory the goldfish out of Finding Dory and we've forgotten everything. Okay, so it's all bullish now. Wow, that's great. Central Bank of Colombia announces first blockchain bond. Wow, that is cool. That's signal. That's not noise. That's important. Multi-billion-dollar asset management firm buys Bitcoin. What is this? ARK Invest, Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. If only we looked at ARK Invest and Grayscale Bitcoin Trust every day in the trend, it would be really good. Hang on a second. We do. That's cool. Bitcoin holders amongst young US investors. Oh, that's good. See, the young kids, they know what's going on. Okay, let's look back at this Bitcoin mining business. Drilling into that article, we see Riot and Marathon Digital. If you managed to look at episode 144, you would have seen 8 on-chain metrics, 17 crypto stocks and ETFs, 10 economic data pieces, and 26 Bitcoin-related, crypto-related stocks. We actually covered Marathon Digital, Bitcoin, trusts, everything actually we did. Let's have a look just quickly. I'll just kind of show you what we do. Here's Riot blockchain. We can see that that's above the resistance, turning it into support. Marathon Digital was another one. It's under this support line, but it's over this resistance. It's making a play back up to here. The other article talked about ARK Innovation Fund and ARK Internet ETF. It also talked about Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. You see, we actually go through this. Did you know Grayscale Bitcoin Trust currently has 654,600 Bitcoin? We really pay a lot of attention right across the market. I really suggest you check out the trend episode each day. It's just this one here. The trend video will give you a lot of information other people just don't have. Let's have a look at crypto total market cap. We can see crypto has been on a tear. The total market cap has risen up. It's just below this structural resistance, playing out at $1.378 trillion. We can see price moves in a wave. That's why we buy falling knives in crypto. Not advisable to do it in the stock market, absolutely. But buying a falling knife in crypto is a pretty good way to go. Now, we can see here that it's approaching, the entire crypto market is approaching this structural resistance. What do we expect when that happens? We know that price is always moving in a wave. We can see some really solid price action. If it hits this structural resistance and backs off a bit, even down to this support, it would be fine. It's challenging this level of structural resistance now. Very, very healthy. Let's have a look at Bitcoin's technical action. In the last timing episode, we were just here. Price was challenging this 32,414 mark. Look what it did. It went below, gathered support, got a little bit of cuddle from that support line and shot off. Now we can see it's hitting this structural resistance line now. This is very strong price behavior, but we always know price is always moving in a wave. It's always moving up and down. It's really important not to be concerned about FOMO, fear of missing out. Just keep on buying at support, at levels between support, and you'll do really well. Bitcoin does tend to spike up and down a little bit, so just keep that one in mind. It's very helpful, very profitable trading and investing technique. Bitcoin is currently trading at 33,845. It has support below at 33,588 and 32,834. It's above this very critical structural support line now at 32,414. That's really, really fantastic. The next target is this, well, really 35,000, which takes this structural resistance line into account. Resistance above is 34,267 and 35,000. Let's have a look at the longs and shorts of Bitcoin. These are the number of margin longs measured in Bitcoin, which is currently around 54,254. The red line, which is the shorts, are around 2,837. People are talking about a short squeeze. It's unlikely. We're not really having a lot of volume in the shorts. 2,800 as opposed to 54,000 is not a high probability of a short squeeze. What we're realistically looking at is the longs increasing continuously in power. Let's have a look at Ethereum. The number of margin shorts is this red line. It's currently 97,618. That's the number of margin shorts measured in ETH. We look at the ETH longs, which is the number of margin longs measured in ETH. We see it increasing. The number of margin longs are 214,080 approximately. So we can see it's about 2 to 1. There is the possibility of a short squeeze here because we've got significant volume that could be liquidated. In the case of ETH, it makes sense, but not in the case of Bitcoin. Let's have a look at the options relating to Bitcoin for the July 30th expiry. Max pain is 34,000. It's just dropped 1,000. Remember, the past couple of days, it's been 35,000. Before that, 36,000. I'll make sure that I mark the chart up for you to show you that behavior. Remembering that max pain is just the price at which the majority of the options expire worthless. I'm going to do a video explaining options to you. Let's have a look at the Ethereum options, the max pain price, where the majority of long options, which are called calls, and the short options, which are called puts, the majority expires worthless at around 2,200. It's been hovering around that level. It has not changed. Let's have a look at total liquidations. Over the past 24 hours, there's been $289.06 million worth of liquidations that occurred to 69,429 traders. Over the past 12 hours, nearly 87% of those liquidations were short. We're seeing a lot of short liquidations here at the moment. Let's have a look at it on the 15-minute. Yep, we can see quite a few short liquidations, but overall the volume is pretty low in comparison to these kind of spikes. Let's have a look at psychological safety and liquidations. The market is currently experiencing extreme fear at a fear and greed rating of 22. We can see the max pain level has decreased down to 34. Was 36, 35, now 34. We're just monitoring this to see how things pan out. In our community, we always know price is moving in a wave. It's coming down, then up, then down, then up, then down, and so on. It's really important to understand that the news advertises people into the market, and they're generally long-term investors. Investors tend to buy at the top, and then they feel that they may have made a mistake, and when price comes down, they sell at the bottom. We like to think inside our community like an institution of one. Like institutions accumulate when there is extreme fear in the market. We feel most safe down here in extreme fear, just hodling away, lowering the average buy price. So long as the trend is in play, of course. If the trend is broken, that's different. But the trend is very strong at the moment. When it gets up to these extreme greed levels, we start to get a little bit of anxiety that we may need to risk off. At the moment, things are looking pretty good. It's always important to understand, anytime an investor decides to buy or sell, they are immediately a trader. When you trade up in terms of extreme greed, you don't want to buy at the top. You always want to seek to buy these spikes down. Any spike is a good spike. It's really profitable way of trading if the trend is positive. That's why we devote an entire episode every day to the trend. Without that, we can get crushed. Traders also have a very disciplined mindset. They go through a lot of pre-analysis before they ever pull the trigger. Part of our process is going through the top 7. We see the top 7 today: Bitcoin, Ethereum, THETA, Binance Coin, Cardano, XRP, and USDC. Let's look at the top 24-hour percent gainers. Axie Infinity, THETA, Cell, T-Fuel, Mana, Bake, and Engine. Just a little thing that can help you. When price gets very extended, it's likely to pull back sharply and strongly. You'd never want to FOMO into these trades. Just be careful with what you do there. If you want to see how fast Axie Infinity moves, this can be a really good way to understand. We'll come back to these green and red boxes, but just take a note of what is happening here. So if we go back to here, we can see Axie Infinity went up about 100% in 24 days. Then it came down 85% in 20 days. And then it rocketed up 242% in 10 days. And then it decided to come down 50% in 24 days. And then it decided to rocket up 873% in 23 days. And it said, I'm going down. In 5 days, it came down 51%. And it said, I changed my mind, I'm going up. And in 4 days, it went up 245%. This is what I refer to when I say crypto is volatile. It's crazy. You don't need leverage. Leverage is built into the alts. Always buy at spot. At least you can ride things out. Can you imagine if you bought up here at $10.95 right at that peak, and then it came down 84%, and you said, I don't care, I'll just leave it in there because I'm at spot. And then suddenly it's trading up to around $48. Let's say you held on there. You're looking at about a 300% increase because you didn't have to sell. That's the power of buying at spot. This is a little secret I wanted to share with you. A hidden crypto gem. Okay, let's get back into it. Axie Infinity, THETA, Celsius, T-Fuel, Mana. There's a lot of NFT plays here. You can see that. Now let's go back the other way. Largest 24-hour percent losses? Basically nothing. Just poor old Rune. The other ones are stable coins, so we just disregard that. Pesky stable coins getting in the road of real progress. One thing interesting, here's another crypto gem. Stable coins, USDC is a stablecoin currency pegged to the US dollar. If you think about central bank digital currencies, they're nothing more than a stable coin. They don't pose any threat to crypto whatsoever. In fact, they will speed adoption. Okay, let's check out the 7-day percent gainers. Axie Infinity on the top, TEL, Flow, OKB, THETA, AMP, and Dash. Let's go the other way. Greatest losses, MDX, Rune, XEM, RVN, Ravencoin, HBAR, Synthetics, and KuCoin token. In our community, we're a really sharing and caring community, and we're always sharing our edges. This is an edge worth sharing. When you look at total revenue, this is over the past year. Look at this, Ethereum, $4.3 billion. Bitcoin, $1.1 billion. Uniswap, $926.8 million. Let's look to the past 30 days. Ooh, what's this? Axie Infinity, having fun. Let's look at the past 90 days. Really interesting stuff. You can see Axie Infinity down here at $119.6 million. A lot of commentators, especially from the gold market and the stock market, say that there is no value in crypto whatsoever. If we look at the past revenue over the past year, it's $7.17 billion. Oh, that's money. That means that there is value in this. That's another secret crypto gem. Another edge that we want to do is track the transaction fees. This can help us to understand when things get overheated in the market. Bitcoin average transaction fee right today is $2.72, Ethereum $6.31, and Doge 42 cents. This just helps give us another angle and another perspective on the market that most people won't have. That's what we're all about. We're all about edges. If you have another edge that you would like me to track, please reach out and let me know. Another community edge is tracking Binance derivatives. We're especially interested in the change in price of the contract, derivatives contract, in the past 24 hours. We can see 24-hour trading volume is about $52 billion. 24-hour open interest is about $7 billion. When we look at these percentages, we can see Bitcoin about 4.5%. And it's favorable to Ethereum's position at the moment. Let's go down and see if we can find some on fire cryptos. Axie Infinity is on fire at 46.2%, just dominating. THETA 17.6%. These can give us a really, really good understanding. CHR 18.8%. It's very interesting to look through this stuff. Mana, Decentraland 16.5%. A couple of 10%ers, 13% IOST. Let's have a look what else. NIA 13.5, Bluezell BLZ 11.3%. Pretty fantastic stuff, isn't it? It's just a window on the market that other people would not be looking at. That's an edge to see more than the normal person would see. Let's have a look at some bubbles. For the past day, Axie Infinity, Mana, Flow, Cell, STX, they've all done very well. What about over the past week? Look at that, they're all turning positive. A couple of days ago, they were all red. This is exactly what you experience in crypto. Things can move so fast, so quickly. Before we go into the specific alts, please keep in mind the crypto total market cap is approaching this particular structural resistance line. Let's get into Ethereum. Ethereum, currently trading at 21.49, has support below at 2100 and 2042. It has resistance above at 2178 and 2253. I'd like to do a quick shout out to Dave Irvine. Wow, Dave came up with this. How cool is this? A little girl touching the planet of Bitcoin. And Dave says, this is a quote that I always say, no alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. Well done, Dave. I'd also like to give a shout out to Alison Howard. Alison very kindly put some ideas together for some slide backgrounds and various graphic design elements. Thank you so much, Alison. That's very nice of you. I'd also like to thank Earl Stokes, who put together some really cool graphics on a channel logo and all sorts of other things, like a little video that could run. I think our community is so beautiful. Thank you so much to everyone seeking to support our community and help out. There's also a couple of channel moderators that have come forward. It's just beautiful, the support that this community gives to each other and to me. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Now, of course, when we talk about Bitcoin's gravity, we're talking about this. The directional bias of Bitcoin impacts every alt. We can see Bitcoin rising up. That's pulling up Ethereum. It goes down, it pushes down Ethereum. You can see this almost synchronization between directional bias. It's really, really important to understand how Bitcoin's fingerprint plays across the alts. Let's have a look at BNB. Binance Coin currently trading at 302.51. It's above that structural support, which is fantastic, at 291.52. Lower level of support, 285.53. It's literally on resistance now. So support resistance pretty much at the current price. The next level of resistance is 309. Above that is 318. Let's have a look at Bitcoin's gravity coming into play. You can see the directional bias, even though, for example, Binance Coin was pulled down here by Bitcoin. When Bitcoin came up, it pulled Binance Coin up. When Bitcoin came down, it pushed Binance Coin down. It's very amazing to see this in operation. You see it across every single coin. It's really freaky, and it's a crypto gem. I haven't heard anybody else talk about this. This is part of our community's edge. Look at this. Came down, Binance Coin came down. Bitcoin goes up, Binance Coin goes up. That is why it is so critical to understand Bitcoin's trend. This is literally why I devote an entire episode to it. It is so critical. When you understand it, you'll understand a lot of things. It will be very hard to shake you out of a position because you have knowledge. Other people have opinion, but you'll have knowledge. Rule 47, master your edge. Everybody needs an edge. An edge is your unique talent and skills intersecting in what you do. They can be as personal, and they are as personal as you are. They're unique. You can do whatever you want. Just make sure it works. That's the key. Let's have a look at Cardano, ADA. ADA is currently trading at literally structural support, which is so cool. 121.27. You remember when we were all the way down here a few days ago, well, a week ago, you can see that falling knife, I was saying, yeah, it's not a bad idea to buy that falling knife. And people were saying, no, don't do it. But that's what we do in crypto. We're knife buyers because of the gearing relationship. In fact, if you had have bought around the bottom of that falling knife and you just sold here, that's nearly a 20% return. When everybody else is running from the building, you're like firefighters. You're running into the building with knowledge. The next level of resistance is 124.11 and 126.28. Support below, which looks pretty solid actually, is 119.72. Below that, 116.45. We say no alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. Look at Bitcoin's gravity. Look what it does. When Bitcoin moves up, ADA moves up. Everything in the market moves with Bitcoin. This is why it is so important to understand Bitcoin's trend. I hope that's making more and more sense as we go on our journey together towards helping you to become more of a financial blessing to yourself and others. You can see how just tightly it is controlled. ADA is controlled by Bitcoin. If you are trading ADA, keep your eye on Bitcoin. See what it is doing, where it is heading to structural resistance or structural support. Understand it first before you try to understand ADA. That's a really big hidden crypto gem. Focus on Bitcoin first. Let's have a look at XRP. XRP is currently trading at 60.53. It has support below at 59.99 and below that at 58.55. Resistance is 61.36 and structural resistance is coming into play at 63.17. As always, we know no alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. Look at the gravity of Bitcoin. Look at how it pushes and pulls XRP. In fact, it does it. It's not personal to XRP. Bitcoin does this to every single alt. It's just crazy. But when you know it, you can use it to your advantage. That's what we're all about. This is part of our community edge. Let's check out Dogecoin. Doge is currently trading at 19.491. Support below at 18.753 and 17.980. Resistance above at 19.990 and above that 210.95. I've just popped something in here to help you. This is another secret gem, hidden crypto gem. When you look from this low to this peak, from the low to that peak is around 75.66%, just roughly, just say 75%. From the current price up to that peak again is 48.21%. It's really good to keep in mind when you're trading bear markets. And I know people have asked me about, Ken, how do you trade a bear market? I think, we can wait till it comes, but if you want to know, this is a really good strategy. You can see these sell-offs and these spikes can have so much power in them. You can literally turn 75% in a couple of days. They are phenomenal things to trade. They're fun. So how is Bitcoin's fingerprint playing out on Doge? We know no alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. They're moving down and up together. If we look at this particular price action, you can see this big uptake, and then the relative movements in here are mirrored. Not to the same velocity, but to the same direction. This is why it's so important to understand how Bitcoin's gravity affects different alts. It's very fascinating. No alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. It's a powerful thing to know. Doge appears to have a lot of latent power. You see these spikes coming up. They're very interesting. Just keep your eye on Doge. Let's have a look at Polkadot. DOT is currently trading at 13,626. It's just above support at 13,516. It has a lower level of support at 12,911. Resistance above at 14,023 and 14,748. Let's have a look at Chainlink. Chainlink is a community favorite. Link is currently trading at 16,735. Support below, well, it's pretty much at support right now. It's got a good cradle here in terms of its upward support, and that downward support used to be resistance, now turned to support. It has a structural resistance above it at 17,209 and normal resistance above that at 17,653. Support below at 16,305 and 15,900. I just wanted to point out from this low here up to this first peak is about a 58.4% increase. You can see that when these coins start to recover, they can do incredibly well. I always say the power of the falling knife, buying it, is if something falls from 10 down to 5, it's decreased 50%. But if it comes from 5 back to 10, it just increased 100%. That's why institutions always buy when price is going down. They know how to work the percentages. Polygon, MATIC, is another community favorite. MATIC is currently trading at 91,983. It has support below at 87,672 and 82,328. Notice these structural resistance lines above at 95,360, 101,203 and 105,585. When a lot of people start trading and investing, they don't obey Rule 56. Don't seek tops or bottoms. Instead, they seek a top or a bottom. The only problem is tops and bottoms only occur after they've been hammered in. They're really, really hard to pick. Don't even worry about picking tops or bottoms. Pick by probability. It's much better. I'll give you another crypto gem. When I see price action like this really sharp downward spike, I get really excited. Very excited, in fact. I can't contain myself. The concept of these sharp spikes downward, they are phenomenal because sharp angles tend to reflect, and they do so pretty quickly. These can be incredible buying opportunities. For example, if you seek to buy at support and try and push your buys down to lower levels of support, especially structural support, what you can see is price can wick down and then wick back up. And those actual percentage changes can be incredible. Say, for example, you manage to buy near the bottom. I know that's not possible, but think if it was, just a conceptual thing. If you sold around here, that's a 61% increase. A lot of people are always looking for 10x, 30x their money. If you do these periodically, you really need to understand your tax position. But if you can do these, it's an incredible way to actually make money from the volatility of crypto. Let's have a look at THETA. THETA is currently trading at 5.30. It's above structural support at 5.374 and a lower support at 5.064. We can see THETA has a lot of structural resistance at play, but you know what? It really comes down to Bitcoin's fingerprint. Just to see how this plays out, you can see Bitcoin's directional movement pulling THETA in that direction, both down and up. Look at this. It's fascinating, isn't it? When you see this kind of behavior, what you're seeing is that everything is moving as one directionally with Bitcoin, not the same percentage movement, exacerbated percentages, both up and down. We always have some variance, some override, depending on how the chart is structured, with its structural resistance and structural support. If the concepts of structural resistance and support are new to you, please have a look through episode 93. I'm going to be doing follow-up series on these ones to help you out a bit more. You can see that no alt escapes Bitcoin's gravity. It's really important to understand. It's very cool to know that if you bought around the bottom here, just up to the current price is nearly 60% increase. This is the power of the alts. They're downward directionally biased, so always try and buy as low as you can. You need to be really stingy with alts. They're so violent. This is another hidden crypto gem. A lot of people out there that don't understand crypto say it's intangible and therefore valueless. You know another thing that's very intangible? Electricity. Electricity is so intangible, except if you touch it. If you touch it, you can really feel it, so let's not do that. But it's really interesting to understand. When electricity was first developed, they literally had a war about if it would be developed or not, and who would control it. This particular film, The Current War, is just fantastic. I would urge you to have a look at it. It's an amazing film, and it basically talks through the history of the invention of electricity. We take it for granted, but there was a huge fight between Thomas Edison and George Westinghouse over how they would do the power grid. Oh, it's really, really fascinating. You know what? The same thing is happening in crypto, and it actually happened in the internet as well. It's happened to all new developments. It's very normal. As part of our secret code, maybe talk about something to do with electricity or power or intangibles, and just leave it in the comments so I know you picked up this really secret gem. It's going to hold you in an incredible position of power. Each time you encounter someone saying, crypto has no value, you'll be able to say, well, it's intangible, but so is electricity, and you can go from there. I hope you found the content useful. Everything I do for you is free. Please be aware of scammers. I do these videos to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love. I just want to say thank you to the moderators who take care of the spam. I really, really appreciate what you do. It helps me to free up time to do more videos and answer more questions inside the community. Thank you very much for that. If you would like twice daily updates 7 days a week on price movements in the crypto market, please subscribe to YouTube. We also have free Facebook, Discord, and Twitter groups, and you can always reach out to me and say hi. I'd love to hear about your feelings about this content in the comments, and of course, if there's anything else I can cover off for you. This is a community-driven channel. I very much appreciate your questions. Just let me know if there's something that you would like me to cover. I'll add it to the to-do list, and of course get around to it as soon as I can. Please be aware, crypto is really volatile. Prepare yourself for the best and the worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there. Take care, and see you next time. Bye for now.